Hi, everybody, and welcome to Metaphysical Insights. I'm your host, William Becker, and I have a good friend of mine on the show today, Mr. David Cook, live from parts of London on the western side of town. Actually, his wonderful historic place. I've been fortunate to have him show me around and wander through, abbeys that started in 666 and little things like that. Um, People wonder why I miss England constantly. Anyway, um, David, welcome to Metaphysical Insights, and it's great to have you here. It seems like the only way we get a chance to visit is if I have you on the show.
It does seem that we don't tend to connect as much as we should, and I apologise
Exactly.
for that. I do apologise
Well,
for that.
thank you. Well, and I'll
I do
let you
have some
take
free time now.
that. You're what? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. You're going to have free time. What?
I do have some more free time now since the
Oh,
26th of November.
yeah. Actually, and that's one of the things I wanted to chat a little bit about. David's had quite a successful show, The Ghostly Hour, for 2+
Seven and a
years.
half years. Seven and a
Yeah,
half.
7.5. Okay, I knew 2 was wrong. Oh, it had to have been wrong because I met you far longer than that, and you already had the show. Anyway, um, the station closed for lots of really valid reasons that we wish the owner well. She was great. Um, but what are the prospects of putting this someplace else or revamped, or how are you moving forward with all this?
Well, I done a Facebook Live about this the following Sunday. Basically, the Ghostly Hour is not going, it's evolving.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do, I've got loads of projects lined up. I'm
Uh-huh.
fed up with my town being overlooked because, like you said, it's a 7th century town. Loads of history here. Captain Cook got married in St Margaret's Church in my town. The abbey
Oh,
right
that's
next
right.
door itself has got its own history. We've
Yep.
got the biggest fishing fleet in the world at one point from this town. So this town's got a vast amount of history, and I'm so fed up with it being overlooked. Sorry if I sound a bit
Yeah.
croaky, folks. I'm just getting over a bit of a cough and a cold.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I'm going to do that. Uh, Plus, as you know, I want to start up my paranormal school.
right.
Eventually, I'm looking to take it online. So
Okay.
once I get to the rhythm of it, then I can take it online. So if anyone wants to learn, by all means, I will be able to have that facility, we say, to help you.
Good.
Plus, I've got my book to finish off as well.
Uh-huh.
So I've got loads of stuff going on. So, like I say, it's all going to be under the Ghostly Hour banner. So, like I say, it's not
Excellent.
going; it's just evolving.
Yes. I like it. I'm excited to see how all of this develops and morphs and changes over time. Um, it's going to be a fascinating progression to watch, I can tell.
Oh, definitely. I'm super excited because, to be honest, I did not know before I actually started the show what actually went into putting into an hour show.
Right.
It's ridiculous amount of work. You know, you got to get your guest info, then you got to send it
Uh-huh.
over to Tina. Then she does the absolutely best work behind the scenes. She really does, and she makes it look
Right.
so simple. That's the best
Hmm.
thing about it. She makes it look so simple. So then
Right.
she sends you the banner. So then you send the person the banner. But then during the week, you want to get in touch with them to make sure they're still okay to come on. If they're not okay, then you got to try and come up with another show. So just for them 2 hours, you're putting in a week's work. and it
Right.
is very time consuming, especially when you've got a day job as well.
Hmm.
So I do miss it. I really do miss it. But in a way, it has helped me to free up some time now to get other projects started that I've been waiting to do for a while now.
Excellent. Good for you. Yeah. Um, do you have any kind of a timeline when you're thinking things are going to be um, up and running, or
Well,
too early to tell?
I'm possibly looking at getting the book done first. While I'm doing the book, though, I shall be doing some filming for the documentary this summer or this
Okay.
spring into summer.
Hmm.
So I'm going to be doing some filming for that. Probably do some voiceover work for it as well, just narration.
Okay.
The school, I'm going to do a bit more prep because unfortunately, I don't know where it's gone. I've, I've had a good old tidy up in here and I've put it somewhere. But the plans I
Uh-oh.
had, yeah, the plans I had on a pad, I've mislaid them. So I'm going to start from scratch,
Oh
make sure
no.
I cover everything, make sure I didn't miss anything, and then hopefully the school will be sometime possibly late this year, early next year.
Well, when you've got it kind of outlined again, at least I'm happy to listen and such to see if I remember anything you've missed. Because, I mean, it's been a while, but you talked about it with me quite a lot. And so I don't know how much I'll remember, but I might be able to pick up on something if.
Well, I know the main thing I wanted to focus on for the
Mhm,
first lesson was respect. So I
mhm,
wanted to focus on more respect for obviously building respect for the spirits and respect for other people's opinions. Because
mhm.
as we both agree, none of us are right, none of us are wrong. It's all theory, it's all
Right.
experience. Facts
Yeah.
are very few and far between. So I want to just drum it through to the kids, just respect someone else's opinion because we
Mhm,
don't know if we're right, we don't know if we're wrong. We're just going on what we learn through our experiences
mhm,
and the theories we develop.
mhm. And we can get some idea over time as to whether or not something else makes sense within our own understanding, which doesn't mean that they're wrong, but it could be a sign to look a little deeper. But we need to be so open to looking at what people say that we disagree with and looking to see if there is some sound basis for it, and being open to changing our perspective a lot. I mean, if it's if it's based on something that's a faked video or something like that, then I mean that's different. But there's a lot of there's a lot of variety in the field in understanding and perception. And I know I'm hopefully not so arrogant that I think anybody who doesn't agree with me is totally wrong and I'm totally right.
Well, I can honestly say that's the one thing I'm most proud of about the show
Hmm.
is that anyone that come on was not judged. You know, they was not told, no, you're wrong, that's it, end of. You know, they was not
Right.
judged. They said their
Hmm.
piece. We had a discussion about it, and it was a proper discussion that I
Hmm.
don't think I've ever raised my voice once on that show because there's no point. It gets you nowhere.
Well,
You know,
if you want to
that's their
raise,
experience. That's what they've been through. Who am
right,
I to question what they have been through? You know,
right,
so I'll just sit there, I'll listen to them, we have a conversation. Viewers make or listeners make up their own choices. I'm not going to sway it either way because that's not my
right,
job.
right. And I like to bring up questions that help me understand better what they're saying, but not to question their integrity. I try hard to have people on the show, my show, whose integrity I'm already pretty certain about, um, or at least people that have a fairly good reputation if they're not people I know personally. Um, a reputation for being honest. It doesn't mean that you have to agree. It just means that um, they're coming from a. There are types of attitudes I don't want to give a platform to because I think they're harmful or because I think they're dishonest and I don't need to support that. And so I try not to let that on my show. But otherwise, absolutely. I don't always agree with you. Um, and but that doesn't mean I think you're wrong and I'm right necessarily.
No, I've got to admit, on the show, I like to give everyone a chance, whether I
Hmm.
knew them or not. I'd give everyone a chance. Obviously, there was a few people that I would never have back.
Right.
Yeah, but there's others that I'm so glad that I had them on. I couldn't wait to get them
Mhm.
back on again.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
it's a bit hit and miss when you get them on for the first time and you don't really know them. But that
Right.
was sort of part of what I wanted to do. I had a voice now. I was given that opportunity. Now I want
Hmm.
to give others the opportunity. The ones that work in the back that probably wouldn't even think about saying something. But I just wanted to make it a safe haven for people to
Yeah.
come, talk openly, feel safe about talking about it, knowing they're not going to get judged, and then hopefully they feel better afterwards.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. And I'm with you on that. And with most of the people I'm talking about are um, um, more.
That's not the pesky insurance salesman again, is it?
It was actually it's a friend of mine in England calling, and I'm going to tell him that um, I'm doing the show.
Well, in the meantime, while
Okay,
you do that,
sorry
just to
about
let
that.
you know,
I talk about
it's okay.
unprofessional.
Just no, no, no. Just to let you know that on the show, I started a special month in August, and for those who don't know, it was Women in the Paranormal Appreciation Month.
Oh, that's right.
Because, yeah, I got so fed up of hearing about all these ladies that basically got held back, got their ideas stolen, got
Right.
treated so badly. I thought, you know what? It's about time we actually started appreciating what it is they do for us. Because they have fantastic ideas. They put in a lot of work, possibly more
Exactly.
work, just to try
Hmm.
and get a little bit of credit that they actually deserve.
Right.
So I thought, you know what? We'll dedicate August to women in the paranormal. I'm still going to continue that. So even though the
Okay.
show may not be here, I'm still going to continue in August Women in the Paranormal Appreciation Month because they thoroughly deserve it.
Now, how are you going to put that out? Are you going to do videos through your webpage, or I mean, or through Facebook, or through YouTube, or how are you going to do that?
The thing is, I'm trying to find, and it's so I didn't realise how difficult it was till the first year I actually tried doing this.
Uh huh.
Because I tried to look up women in the paranormal. Now it come
Okay.
up with loads of spirits. It come up with the woman in white, the woman in blue, spirits in abundance. So if I
Right.
want spiritual women in the paranormal, I've got a history of them. But
Right.
trying to find actual women that was involved in the paranormal in the past, because I want to give them recognition as well. Because without them,
Right.
we won't get to where we are now. So trying to find women like that, it's near impossible. But I would love to do something about these women to highlight who they are, put videos out there so that they get recognition as well. Because I'm sorry, without everyone, and I mean everyone, we would not get where we are today.
Right.
So we need to get these women recognised.
Now,
Give them the credit.
are you including some of the people from the past that were part of the early spiritualist movement during the Victorian era, especially after the Civil War and so many people died, and after I can't remember which war with Britain. Anyway, there was a period in Victorian England that death was so rampant from so many things. Uh, oh, good. Thank you. Um, that some of them were fake, some of them weren't, but it was a big part of the interest in the paranormal, and especially the more metaphysical, the psychic pieces. And some of the new Wicca, New Age stuff grew out eventually of some of that as well. Um, and so, are you putting that piece in too from a historical? It's kind of different than what I think you're talking about, but they kind of intersect each other. So that's what I was wondering.
Oh yeah, if there's any sort of intersecting, intercrossing between
Hmm.
spiritualism, uh, investigators, because I know there was one woman who was heavily involved with EVPs. So I'd like to get her recognised. She was, I think she was the inspiration behind the Frank's box, the Frank box.
Was her last name Constantus?
No. She's more
Okay.
recent. I know who you're on about
Yeah.
there. She's more recent because
And I
she's
was going
worked
to
on
say
Ghost Adventures and
I know people that knew her, but
yeah.
she had a pretty tragic
But for
last part of her
me,
life.
she's too recent
Okay.
because people know her. I'm
Right. So
talking
you're looking
more
for the
history books.
okay.
Yeah,
Excellent. Uh-huh.
yeah. So I want to get the ones that haven't had the opportunity to be recognised.
Right. Oh,
So I'm going
I
back
think
sort
it's
of
fantastic.
possibly sort of late 1800s to sort of like say just before sort of like the Second World War or something, just to try and
Okay.
sort of cover that period of when we was actually coming into the way that we are now, the way it was sort of developed, and the women behind
Right.
that. Even the women that
Okay.
went around and basically debunked everything. I'd like to get them recognised as well,
Well, I
because
think
then
that's
they're
really
actually
important.
defrauders.
Yeah, because there's so much out there that needs debunking. Um, I mean, part of the problem in this field is there are so many fakes, and always have been. Um, People are stealing money basically from people who are very sensitive or in very vulnerable places because of loss or whatever reason, and they're
Well, speaking of women, I have something to put to you that happened to me the other morning.
oh, I thought you were going to
It,
ask me to put on a dress, and I just don't look good in tough drag.
well, I don't know, shave your legs, you'll be all right. So,
No, I said tough drags, no shaving.
oh yeah, perhaps then, yeah, you'll get ladders and everything. Yeah, perhaps best not.
Yeah.
Uh, not that I know, folks. I'm just guessing. Blackpool. Yep.
Hmm.
Anyway, what it was, I was in a in between sleep and dream state. It's to do with Auschwitz
You were what?
and to do with Auschwitz.
Okay. So you were
So
in your dream. You were there.
I was there on a tour because it
Okay.
turns out my dad told me that my neighbours are going there. I don't know when, but they're going there.
Okay.
So like I say, I was in the sort of transition between sleep and dream state. So I
Hmm.
know I wasn't hallucinating or anything like that. So I was on the tour. I'm standing there listening to the tour guide. Then I had this male spirit come up to me and start talking to me.
Hmm.
And I'm sort of looking to the side saying, "Sir, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you what has already been done." I said, "But just know it's not being done now. So now you're okay." And he sort of looked at the spirits, looked at me shocked. He's like, you can see me, you can hear me. I'm like, yeah. So, like I say, you're not going through anything now. So you're all right. You're safe to go.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden he just turned around. I see him literally turn around, and it's like he signalled others to say he can hear us, he can see us. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, here we go. What's going to happen next? And there was this woman that approached me. Now she wasn't very tall. I'd say about 5'1", something like that.
Hmm.
And she told me her name. Her
Okay.
name is Doris Strauss. Straus.
Okay.
I thought, now I knew I was dreaming, but I thought I've got to remember this. I've got to
Hmm.
remember this name. I kid you not. I looked it up when I woke up on a website for Holocaust victims and survivors.
Uh-huh.
There is a name, Doris Strauss.
Where was she from? Did it say?
Yeah. Where was it? Where was it?
Was it
I know
Vienna?
she. No, she. Was it? She went to. I think it was Switzerland. I took a screenshot, so I'll send it to you of when she was
Okay.
born and everything else. But she was a
Was it?
Jew.
Hmm.
She was a Jewish woman, so I believe she was actually there. So
At
why
Auschwitz.
that name come through so clear, I don't know.
Well, it's
But
interesting too.
I
I'm
had to
trying to
look it
figure
up,
out
and it was there.
because Switzerland, I don't think. I mean, Switzerland was a neutral country, and Jews went there. I don't think they were turned over to the Germans.
Well, I know she emigrated there,
Oh,
so she actually,
after.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know any history about her, or if
Okay.
hopefully she survived it, and but I don't know any history or anything like that.
Okay.
So if anyone can help, I'll greatly appreciate it because it's still a puzzle why that name was so clear above everyone else's.
Well, mention it to your neighbors who are going, and have them keep an eye out, and they may stumble into something with her information on it, or stumble into somebody who knows somebody or something.
Yeah, it's just I still don't understand it now. Still, why that
Yeah.
name more than anything else?
Well, you've got the connection, and I think this is more than a coincidence that the name you came up with had been there. Um, so I'm thinking there might be something coming up, or somebody you know has a connection to her already. And people going to Auschwitz would be people to talk to about that, or those going to Switzerland.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I know it's Switzerland or Sweden that she actually went to in the 1930s.
But Sweden was,
She actually, yeah, she actually emigrated there.
Well, then how on earth would she have wound up at Auschwitz? I'm trying to figure out that part of the puzzle. Because Sweden was a neutral country, too. They weren't invaded and their Jews weren't rounded up.
I don't know. Like I
So,
say, I have to check out the screenshot I took again.
yeah,
So I'll send
unless
it to
she
you.
wound up, yeah, unless she wound up in the wrong place at the wrong time by accident. That's
Yeah, she might have
interesting.
been visiting family when they got raided, and then she got round up that way.
Yeah, anything's possible.
But yeah,
Yeah, the Nazis were not nice people. Um,
oh, they didn't care, did they? They just wanted world domination, and that was it.
yeah, the party people. Yeah. Um, it's well, it's a whole topic of a whole nother show dealing with what human beings are willing to not see in order for their own survival or in order for their own um, feeling good about themselves and their own bias or I mean so many other
Yeah,
things and that's not a paranormal show.
self-preservation.
Yeah, of a kind anyway. And that's a different show on a different kind of topic. But which I've had many conversations about, but I'm not gonna go there on this one.
No, I just thought
Especially
because it's something that happened fairly recently.
yeah. No, I'm glad. No, I'm glad you are with this. It's just where this is going in my head with this conversation and
Yeah.
how could so many people participate in this horror and on the horrors that go on now. And I mean, it's human nature, human thinking. Um, I want, you've intrigued me about her and where this is coming from because
Oh, it's
even if it's dream based, because you were half in it, you were just waking up, and sometimes those carry over that way. There's still that connection to something that people you know who are going there, and this is something you probably just found out about recently, and so we're more open to that kind of a dream, maybe. Um, yeah, I see. Okay, well, I'm going to give you homework. Sit with it. See if you can contact her and ask. I'm sitting here
well, I've
talking
been
with possibilities. I'm going, you idiot. Tell him to ask her. Don't make an assumption.
well, I was wondering if the next night I went back to sleep if I'd get anything extra,
Hmm.
but I didn't.
Well,
So I don't know. I'll have to reach out to her.
yeah, take your pad and pencil or a recorder or something so you can record the conversation and see if you can connect with her and if she has something to tell you or to pass on or to tell people to look for or whatever. Why did she show up? And it could be that you were just receptive and um, she popped in. Um,
Well, I've got a
but
good thing on my phone, which is
okay,
speech to text.
yeah.
So even if you don't hear it, there's a chance it'll come through as text.
Oh, I've never tried using mine that way.
Oh, you should do.
Hmm.
I've done it at the Temple Church in London.
Okay,
So I thought to myself, I'm here. I've got to do this. It's not evasive in any way. It's not like a
right.
spirit box that makes that constant. It's
And
quiet.
you
It's
can
in the
do,
background.
and you don't have to ask
Yeah. So I
questions
thought,
out loud.
nah. So I thought, let's just let it run. See if it
Yeah,
picks up on anything. And I had people's voices around me anyway, so I would have known if it had come up on the screen. That would have been someone else.
right.
But I
It
was
worked.
upstairs. It did. I was upstairs. I see something coming on the screen saying "Bang Bang." They
Okay.
found us, and then it was, what's it? Open doors, then check the bank. Now I'm thinking, I know the Knights Templar were the first bankers, so I'm thinking, are they checking the bank, as in check the treasure, the money, everything else they're carrying with them, or, as a friend of mine said when I asked him about it, because he said he's been looking into the Templars,
Uh-huh.
could it be check the bank of the River Thames?
Oh,
Because the
yeah.
distance between Temple Church and the River Thames is less than a few minute walk. Because back
Okay.
then, obviously, you wouldn't have had all the buildings you got now. So it would have been a straighter walk to the bank of the River Thames.
Yeah, and I don't know if the
So
Thames has
could,
changed its course since then. It could have even been closer.
oh no, it's
Um,
changed its course since then.
yeah. So was it even closer at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know when the word bank was used in a financial way. I don't know how recent that term is used for working with money in the way the Templars did. So I don't know
Mm.
if they would have used that as far as anything to do with their money business.
So it could have been more of a chance then. It was the bank of the River Thames.
Could be. I don't, it'd be interesting to find out when that word came into use as a description of an institution dealing with money the way they did, and if they had a different word for it or not. Um, and that would give you another possibility, a feeling for it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've been there. Where is it located exactly?
I can't remember the actual. Uh, oh, I leaflet somewhere else. I can't remember the actual address of it, but I know the part of London is called Temple.
Okay. Is it by? I haven't spent in the 80s. I
It's near.
spent.
It's near Fleet Street.
Okay. Well, I've been by that area quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was
So
down
there's
in
a good
that
chance you
area
might have
not
been there.
that long ago. Yeah, or at least have seen it. And
Hmm.
is that close? Is there a St. John's Hospitaller place right by there? And across this, and outside of it, an old plague graveyard that's a park now?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
All
Because
I know
last
is
time,
there are loads of apartments there that contain quite high-powered people, like
okay,
judges, and actually lived there, lawyers,
yeah,
everything.
okay. Um, yeah, this isn't what I was thinking of then. Um, because I was at, and I have to look it up, but it's mostly a museum now, although they still have offices in it. Goes back to one of the original buildings. Um, and I don't know if the Knights Templar had it first or if it was always the Hospitallers. And there was a nice little tea shop, and I took a snack and a nice coffee and sat outside and looked at the lovely park that had plague bodies underneath it. So it was a
As it
beautiful
goes,
setting.
you saying that there is another part of Martan. She was on the £5 note, and that's a lady by the name of Elizabeth Fry.
I've heard
She
of
was a
her.
Quaker.
She was a what?
Yeah, she was a Quaker. A Quaker.
Okay,
She
that's
done
why I heard of
fantastic
her.
work to help
Hmm.
rehabilitate women in the
Hmm.
correctional institutions, shall we say.
Right.
She's another local lady, and she was buried in my town.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, she's somebody I remember hearing about.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm just glad you're able to be on.
yeah. So this is the things that I want to bring sort of like to the attention of the world.
Right.
The town, yeah, it is. It's not a great town. It is compared to what it used to be. I mean, in my town we had manor houses. We've got one that's still standing, which I took you to, which is
Yeah.
a 5 minute walk from where I live.
Yeah. It's fabulous.
There used to be another one in a park, about a 5 minute drive from where I live.
Hmm.
We had a castle in just about 10-minute walk in the opposite direction from where I live.
Wow.
So we had all these places, and to think of how it was to how it's ended up.
Hmm.
I mean, when this town is, how can I put it? Because I love the town because I've seen it in a completely different light through all the research I've done.
Right.
But if you was to come here, it's not the kind of town that you think you'd want to live in. It's a great place to visit, but to actually live in it, most people would class it as not a great town to live.
Okay.
But looking deeper, looking into the history, looking into the richness that we used to have here at one point,
Right.
it just completely blows your mind. And you will see, if anyone does any research into your town, you will see it in a completely different light. Trust me. And
Yeah.
hopefully, you will fall in love with it again.
Well, I really liked your town. The bits I've seen, there's an awful lot I haven't seen. But I mean, shoot, when you walk out of the back door of your hotel and walk a couple around a couple little alleyways and cross a little bridge, and you're at the Abbey. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. And geez, I don't remember because we were there in 2018, I think. Um, June. Yeah, it would have been. Well, I was there. Was I there twice? Because I know we were there. I'm the one that drug you to. I made you drive because I'd been already driving for
Oh,
6 or 8 hours
Stonehenge.
a day. Yeah, that to go
Was
to
that? Yep.
Stonehenge. But was that trip the same trip that we wandered around town and we went to the other places, or did I come
Yeah.
down twice? Okay,
No, that was the
because I
same one.
because I know I spent 3 or 4 nights. I can't remember. Um, but I know we had some experiences or picked up at least psychically in the Abbey as well. I mean, I remember you confirming a lot of what I'd gotten, but I don't remember what everything is. I'd have to go through video notes.
That was Fan's House Museum.
Yeah,
What you was
that
picking up
too.
on was Fan's House Museum.
Right. But I thought I picked up on some stuff in the Abbey too. Maybe not.
No, I believe that you had a couple of experiences in the Abbey,
Yeah.
but the main bits was in Fan's House Museum.
Yeah. Oh, I love that place.
Oh, that's a beautiful place.
Delicious um clotted creamy
Afternoon tea.
tea. Yeah, that was quite
Yes,
lovely.
we had afternoon tea, folks.
Yes. Um but yeah. Oh, I need to go back. But I like the town. I really do. I don't know enough about everything about livability or anything else. But I certainly felt comfortable and safe there. There were interesting places around to get a staying in a hotel. You could get around and find a place to eat and a place to drink. The hotel was just a hotel. It wasn't old or anything that special, but it was comfortable. It was close. It's a chain that works. It's not overly expensive. Um, it was great, but it wasn't. It was just like going to a lot of places, but
Yeah.
it was close to all kinds of things. And so, as a traveler looking, and especially, okay, yeah, over there I have a car, my hire one, and I drive. But I um um I like to have a glass of wine with dinner or something, and I don't drive over there after a glass of wine. So I want to be able to have dinner a walk from my hotel or in it, or unless somebody else is driving, it's something like that. Just and all of that was close and easy to do. Um,
Oh yeah.
so from
That's the
a
one thing I love.
tourism,
That's the
yeah,
one thing I love. You can walk around my town by, I don't know, 30 minutes. You walk around the whole thing.
okay. Oh, well, that's great. And I
Yeah.
don't think we didn't take the train, but I think the underground is pretty close. I think it's pretty
That's
easy to get to.
a 15-minute walk from the hotel.
Okay.
So you're
Yeah, so
talking less
getting
than a
into
mile.
London's easy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so from a tourist perspective, it's great.
Yeah. Everything's within walking distance.
Hmm.
Plenty of places to eat. We're spoilt for
Hmm.
choice if we want something to eat.
Okay.
Seems like new ones popping up every 5 minutes as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a lack of variety of shops because we're an old market town.
Right.
So if you like your markets, then come here. You'll love this one.
Okay.
But yeah, the town itself, like I said, I just want to get it recognised. I'm fed up with everything being looked over
Right.
because I don't think I've seen one documentary about James Cook where they mention he got married in St Margaret's Church in Barking. I don't think
Okay.
I've ever seen anything like that on any documentary. So it's like, why is it being overlooked? It's a significant part of his life before he went on his adventures. So
Right.
why is it being overlooked? Why has it
Yeah.
not been mentioned?
No, that's
Just
interesting.
yeah, just don't make sense.
Well, I guess it just isn't. I don't know. I'm not going to bother guessing. I don't know. Um, it would be interesting to find out a little bit more and get some good LiDAR equipment peering up under the streets and um, digging things up.
Oh, I wish I
Because,
could dig things up.
yeah, because that church, I mean, okay, the Abbey goes to 666, which is Anglo Saxon times, but that area is older than that. I mean,
Yeah.
called it a 7th century town or village, but that's by the time it was around enough to build the Abbey and such. It goes back, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back Bronze Age. I don't know that. I just, as I look in my mind's eye right now, that's what I kind of pick up on. Some activity. I'm not saying even a permanent settlement, but activity
Oh yeah, it's pretty
on a
much
consistent
guaranteed.
basis. You what?
Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed. This town is older than dirt.
Yeah. Hmm. And there
But
were,
hopefully I can find the records so I can put that into the documentary.
yeah. Oh, I think that would be fantastic. And who would have been handling the archaeology for that part of town? Is there, like there's the Wiltshire Archaeological Society, or um, so many counties or even bigger towns have their own professionally staffed archaeological organizations. Do you have
Uh,
anything like that?
I'll have to look them up because even though technically part of Essex because of the postcode.
Mhm.
We're classed as London because we're a
Right,
London borough. We was
right.
given to London in the early 60s. So it's like,
1960s?
well, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, well, do we go to the Essex one? Do we go to the London one? And it's like, has it changed since then? And so I would have to look them up because it may have changed.
Okay. Yeah. And it could be that they both have some, and the university around. Thank you, Eric.
Don't worry, Eric. I'll keep persevering.
Um, but you have a university, I believe, in town, don't you?
We did have,
Okay.
but it's since moved. Now it's all
Okay.
apartment blocks and living complex.
Okay. Well, there could be something still that they have wherever they moved. And it could be one of the museum houses or something could tell you as well.
Whilst I was thinking either the library or Fallon's House Museum might be able to get me in touch with people
Yeah, those are both good
because
ideas.
they've got an amazing research centre in that Fallon's House. I
Oh,
actually
excellent.
love going there. Every time I go there, the smile across my face, my eyes light up. It's like, all right, let's get started.
Hmm. Oh, it's easy. Ah, I love it. I love it. That's my kind of place. Um,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
well, you have to keep me up to date on that because I think it's exciting. Um,
And there is still a chance. I've not ruled it out completely. There is still a chance the Ghostly Hour might pop up on another network at some point.
good.
I
Very
have had
good.
offers.
Good.
I've turned them all down for now because I want to take a bit of a break so I can do all this
Right.
first.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't ruled out completely. So there is still a chance the Ghostly Hour will appear on another network. But I will
Well,
keep
you know you
everyone
miss it.
updated. I
So, I
do.
mean, yeah.
I mean, I've spoke to such amazing people. I
Hmm.
really have, and yourself included in that, William. So don't think I'm
Oh,
not
thank you.
including you because you're included.
Well, thank you.
But you know, I spoke to so many people doing such amazing work.
Hmm.
And yes, I did have on occasion the odd famous person. You know, I didn't want to make it a habit because, no disrespect, we know the famous ones. We know what they
Hmm.
do. We know what books they're selling. We know all this.
Hmm.
So I wanted to get the less well-known people like us on.
Uh-huh.
You know, to let them have a voice. But I've got to be honest. I still can't believe it's happened. The two shows more than anything else. Well, to be honest, three shows more than anything else that stand out was Cliff Simon, the actor.
Okay.
He was on Stargate SG-1, Commander Bowl.
Okay.
We ended up talking about Mars chocolate bars.
Okay.
Now, the reason that came about is because he did not think he was going to be interesting enough to come on my show. I had to
Right.
convince him to come on my show. So, because he thought he wasn't going to be much good and he wasn't going to get me no ratings, which I'd never cared about anyway, and I explained that to him,
Uh-huh.
he did not want to come on. So I'm like, no, you're coming on. I need to get you on. So I said to you, you work on Stargate, yeah? Yeah. I said, why about we talk about Stargates and how there is a chance they can come into like reality? And so got him on,
Hmm.
and he turned around and said that he thought the next generation could be the first generation to step on Mars. So just as a joke, I
Hmm.
turned around and said, oh, just let other people know there are other chocolate bars out there. And afterwards, he was saying how much he loved Mars chocolate bars.
Okay.
And then when he was over here in the UK, he used to just eat them by the barrel load. And unless he goes to a very specific shop over in the US, he can't get them.
We
I
have them
thought,
all
hold
over
on,
the place.
I'm thinking we were a paranormal show talking about Mars chocolate bars.
Yeah. Well, and it is strange because unless something's strange, they're in all of our grocery stores.
Ah, maybe a recent thing then.
Yeah, or else something's changed, or I don't know what part of the country he lives in. It might not be where he lives.
Well, unfortunately, not long, I think it's about 3 or 6 months after I'd done the interview, he sadly passed away
Uh-oh.
in a windsurfing accident.
Okay.
He loved adventure. He loved doing extreme sports.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it flipped. He landed wrong. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh boy.
But I've got that memory
Yeah.
of him saying about how much he loves Mars chocolate bars.
Okay.
The second
And
one
what
that
was the
stands
other?
out
Oh, uh-huh.
is Carmen Reed,
Okay.
the real life mum from the Haunting in Connecticut films.
And I got to listen to at least parts of that one. I don't know if I got to
She
watch the whole thing.
she is so amazing. I honestly could not believe the amount she'd been through and the way that it was turned around so that she now helps people with their problems. I mean, that woman literally went through hell and back.
Hmm.
And if you've seen the films, or if you've seen the
Hmm.
Haunting in Connecticut film, ignore
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Ignore it. Yeah.
I mean, as
She
far as his,
hated she
yeah.
hated the film.
Hmm.
It was part of her life, but she hated the film. The Warrens, they just turned up, accused her of being an alcoholic, accused her of being a druggie, accused her of having mental problems. And when, because they had an author there as well with them, taking notes, and he's gone up to Ed Warren and said, "Yeah, I don't think she's being honest with us. There's a few bits here that seem a bit." And Ed Warren's turned around and said to him, "Oh, just make it scary." So
Hmm.
they didn't care about facts. They didn't care about helping. As far as I can tell, all they was there for was to get the material for the next book, for the next TV interview. Then they was gone.
Right. Oh, they
And I'm
they
sorry
don't
if
have a
no, I'm
they
sorry
don't
if
have a
anyone out
very
there
good.
loves the Warrens.
Hmm.
You know, if you love the Warrens, I respect you for that. But for me, the Conjuring films now that paint the Warrens as these heroes, I'm sorry, nah, nah. I don't mean to disrespect the dead, but from a paranormal perspective, all the Warrens done was capitalise on a gap that they saw. I
Right.
thought, sorry, that's just my opinion. Don't write into William to complain. Send it to me. It's my opinion.
It's
But
one
I'm
that's
sorry.
shared by lots of people, backed by
Yeah,
lots of what seems to
yeah.
be lots of evidence.
But the standout show, and I still cannot believe it happened. I honestly, I was still awestruck by it. The Crypt Keeper himself,
Oh, that's right.
John Cassir, the Crypt Keeper. How was that possible? I spoke to the Crypt Keeper. He spoke to me in the Crypt Keeper voice. It's just,
I used to love that
ah,
show.
yep, same, yeah. I used to specifically just watch it for the Crypt
Mhm.
Keeper because it was a puppet. And when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I was obsessed with puppets, sort of like the Muppets, Sesame Street, anything basically had a puppet in it, I'd watch.
Okay.
So because the Crypt Keeper was a puppet, I absolutely loved him. And the that I've actually spoke to the crypt keeper himself, even now I'm still in shock. The fact
Hmm.
that I've actually spoke to him.
Excellent. Yeah, he's probably still in shock speaking to you too. And I mean that in a totally positive way. I'm not telling you that mostly.
No, he did
Yeah,
actually give me such an amazing compliment after the
good.
show had finished, because that was when I was only doing an hour. That was
Hmm.
before I went to 2 hours. And basically, I just let him run.
Yeah,
As you know, I let guests talk. You
right.
know, you
I mean, you
you
do
talk
your
for as
show
long as
like
you
I
need.
do. They're not scripted. There are a few questions we may want to touch on if the guest wants to, but it's a
Yeah,
wide-ranging conversation that the guest gets to control as much as I do.
yeah. And I didn't want to talk just about Tales from the Crypt.
Right.
So I thought, I know he's done it for God knows how many years now. Every interview he's done, it's probably been about Tales from the Crypt.
Hmm.
I know, as a celeb, you would not think he was a celebrity. He understands it's the people that got him to where he is, and he
Hmm.
appreciates that so much. He really does.
Great.
So he knows if it wasn't for them, he would not be where he is now.
Yeah.
He respects that. He understands that. So I thought, let's have a look at what else he's done, so we can talk
Hmm.
about that instead. And I think it was a nice, refreshing interview for him, not to just talk about one specific topic, and to
Right.
talk about his other work. Because he
Hmm.
was in NCIS, which I absolutely love. He was a
Oh,
forgery paint dealer.
in that show?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in a superhero film before all these really big budget movies come into play,
Uh-huh.
called the Justice League of America. He played
Okay.
a character called the Atom.
Okay.
We spoke about that because it turns
Uh-huh.
out there was a film that was done just before that called Batman and Robin. I think it was
Uh-huh.
George Clooney who played Batman at the time, and
Okay.
Chris O'Donnell who played Robin.
Okay.
I think this one with Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
So yeah, so they said because the show was or the film was so low budget, he said it really was a low budget film. He said you can tell by the CGI how much money we didn't have, and he said they went into Warner Brothers Vault,
Uh-huh.
found Chris O'Donnell's legs that he wore as Robin, and John actually wore those legs as part of his costume, and all they done was paint them blue.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's little things like that. You think, how have you not said this on any other show? You know,
Yeah.
why have no one else brought this up? This is gold. This is getting
Yeah.
things that possibly people have never heard. And yeah, afterwards he just said how much fun he had. He said it felt like it was his stand-up days because he used to be a stand-up comic before he actually got into the film industry. And he said it was just like my stand-up days. He said I thoroughly loved it, and I thought that's such a great compliment coming from a gentleman like that. You know, to
Yeah.
say how much he loved on coming on the show.
Hmm.
So I thought, oh, I've got to get him back on again at some time. But obviously, until another network crops up, or I decide to put it on YouTube or anything like that. But I
Okay.
still keep in touch with him. You know, we
Excellent.
still speak. And yeah, he's such a great gentleman to talk to.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the nice things about doing the shows is we get to talk to all kinds of people, and um, I like people. I like hearing people's stories, what they're up to. If I'm talking to somebody that has been famous at times, I prefer to talk about what they're doing now. Um, you know, I I don't live my life through other people's celebrity. I like to. Who are you as a human being? What are you doing now? What are you thinking about? Things like that. What kind of projects are up and are you working on? Whoops. Are you still there, David?
I'm still there.
Okay, your picture froze for a while. So, um, yeah, it's it's a fun thing to be able to do the work, and I'm grateful. And I'm an amateur at this. I'm sitting in my living room. Um, I don't have great lights or cameras or anything else, and doing what I can do, and um, I like it.
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I do miss it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I miss talking to people every week. I miss the interaction from everyone that listened and
Right.
reading out the comments and getting them involved in it as well. But
Hmm.
onwards and upwards. Like I say, I've still got
That's it.
loads of things planned, so I'm not going to be
Hmm.
fading into the background and it's like disappearing, and I'm just going to be evolving.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Well, you've got a little boy ghost that comes over and kick your rear end if you faded too far in the background, and you have a niece that would probably pester you too. She's a
Oh, she does
sweetheart.
that anyway.
Oh yeah.
Got two of them now who been keep pestering me.
Ah. Okay. That works. So,
I love
well,
it.
I love it. No, pardon me.
I love it. I love it when they pester
Yeah.
me.
Well, good. Well, do you have anything else? The hours come up really quite fast. We're a little over. Do you have a? We've talked a pretty
Just
good piece.
basically, uh, anything comes to light, I shall keep you updated. As
Good.
projects progress, I'll keep you all updated. I'll probably do it via Facebook Lives because it'll
Hmm.
probably be quite a bit to say.
Okay.
I'm investing in some new equipment as well to do the documentaries. So yeah, just keep your eyes and ears open, folks, and I'll post all updates whenever they happen.
Now, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Uh, by the neck is a good way. Uh, I
Okay.
would prefer if it was the neck because anything lower than that, I'm a bit ticklish.
Okay.
So if you can just keep holding me by the neck, it'd be a lot better. No,
Okay.
seriously. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any social media really. But Facebook is the best. I've got 3 pages on Facebook. I've got my David Cook private one. I've got
Mm.
Essex Ghost Investigations, or I've still got the Ghost of the Hour page up as well. So feel free to message me on any of them. If you get me, just do a bit of a longer message rather than just hello or hi. So if you do message me with a question, whatever, just type all of it in one go because I do get a lot of spam. I do get a lot of messages from these fake profiles.
Oh yeah, I
So
do
unless
too.
there's a specific question or reason as to why you're messaging me, I may not answer it. So don't just do hi or hello. Give the reason, give the question, more chance I'll reply.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get those pretty much daily. Um, and a lot of them you can tell they're robots because if anybody had actually looked at my profile, most of these people wouldn't have bothered. But it's it's part of life in the digital world.
Well,
But
still waiting to see if anyone can imitate me. I don't think anyone could.
let's see. Douglas, happy birthday. Thank
Oh,
you
happy
for
birthday,
spending
brother.
time with us. But
Oh, Doug, love you loads, man. Love you loads, my brother. Happy birthday
do you know him?
to you.
Oh, good.
I do.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
do. He's a firm supporter of the network,
Great.
and we've become brothers. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about distance, blood, or anything. He is my brother. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
him dearly,
Uh-huh.
and he's such a wonderful man. He really is. Another one that I've been blessed since I've done the show to know.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, everybody, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'll have this up on, well, it's already probably on the Simply Spooky Network page, and I'll have it up on my YouTube probably later today, maybe tomorrow. And I'll send out links, and I'll give them to you, David, to send out. And I thank you so much, and it's wonderful to get a chance to get caught up.
Yeah, I won't leave it so long next time. Now I've got more time.
Okay, sounds good. And give my greetings to your family.
I will do, sir.
The ones I've met, I've really enjoyed.
They was here today, as it goes.
Pardon me?
They was here today,
Oh, they were
earlier.
excellent. Excellent. Well, your dad, too. I mean, he's your family, too.
Yep,
Um,
don't worry, I will. I knew what you
very
meant.
good. Thank you. And, oh, here's Douglas. So, okay,
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all so much for coming on, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye bye.